Lord, this is different for me. I'm normally on my cell phone. She used to call me on my cell phone. They'll hit me with copyright strike for just saying that. I'm up here in my office man cave getaway Bobby Dirkens studio. Reason I'm doing this on my laptop, my trusty laptop, is because a lot of y'all have been saying that it sounded like a vacuum cleaner running while I've been talking on my past few videos. So I'm trying this. Can y'all hear me good? Does it sound like someone is vacuuming out a car? Can you hear me? Does it sound good? You sound good. You feel good about yourself? You ain't feeling like killing yourself, do you? Are you? You don't feel like... Please, no static today. Bunch of you. Good to see you. May there to you. Bobby Dirkens here. Lord be with you. Got Clemson, Carson, Notre Dame, 2164. Adam Harrison. May there. Good to see you. I'm going to tell you right now, I sit there and I watched that Louisville, Florida State game. I got a little pick'em going on with my family. One of my family members came up with a pick'em for college football. There's no money involved. We ain't got to guess the points and all this bunch of stuff. We just got to simply pick who we think's going to win. So, I picked Florida State to win this ball game. I honestly thought that Florida State would win this more convincingly than what they did. I felt like that they would have had more control in the game. Louisville come out there, played a lot better than what I thought. Malik Cunningham. I mean, wouldn't you hate to be him? Wouldn't you hate to be him? Because everybody's like, hey, you're a running quarterback. You came after Lamar Jackson by a few years. So you're the next Lamar Jackson. Wouldn't you hate that? I'd hate it. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like growing up in Memphis, and you got a decent voice, got your hair kind of slicked back, back in the 50s, early 60s. Maybe kind of got halfway drugged out, lazy eyes, and they're like, "You're Elvis Presley over again." It's like, no, I'm not. I sing show tunes. So I know how annoying it has to be for him to have to hear about, being Lamar Jackson. Okay, he's already said, I don't want to be compared to Lamar Jackson. I ain't Lamar Jackson. I'm trying to be Lamar Jackson, whether it's true or not. But Malik Cunningham came out there and worked. Now, if anybody has brain cells to remember about 2015, Lamar Jackson actually did have a lot more to work with than Malik Cunningham has to work with. Okay, I'm just telling you. That's just kind of it. Florida State, one thing I was really impressed with was the play of their backup quarterback. Young come out there, take over a game that his starting quarterback hadn't really been. They gave what's his face starting quarterback. They gave him some different looks. Let's be honest with ourselves. But I'll tell you what I really liked about this Rodemaker, Studebaker, Rademacher, whatever the crap his name is. So all you who came in here may there too. Is that if I have a 6'7" wide receiver, I'm going to throw the ball up to him every time. Period. Let me tell you this right now. Too many people makes this too hard. You understand what I'm saying? People makes things way too hard. You walk out there, you line up, you look at your wide receiver out here lined up, got your wide receiver lined up out here. You look at them and they're 6'3". And they're lined up against somebody who the depth chart, their coaches lied through their teeth. They lied through the red, everything else, and said, oh yeah, they're definitely 6 foot tall. Lord, they'd be good to be 5'10". And these quarterbacks, they snap the ball and they go, where do I throw it? Where do I throw it? How about you throw it up to the guy who has 6 inches on the guy guarding him? How about you do that, genius? And that's what drives me nuts about this. It's been driving me nuts about Clemson season this year. It's like, look, he's 6'3", he's 6'3", he's 6 foot, Antonio Williams, but he's faster than any of us can think. He's 6'3", he's 6'4", and you tied in Davis Allen and Brenningstool is 6'6". They're both 6'6". I know I don't coach at the level of college football. Okay, I'm just one of those idiots that believes when it's 4th down and half a yard to a 1st down, that if you have a big quarterback, that you go under center. I know what I'm about to say right now is going to be so shocking. You snap the ball and fall forward. I know it's groundbreaking. Or you walk out there, you get inside the 5-yard line, okay? You get inside the 5-yard line, 1st down and goal at the 4. Shotgun formation, I have no problem with it. You might want to line up and try to bruise it in. It ain't the worst thing in the world. And if you're going to run a sweep, for the love of anything that is semi-sacred, don't run a sweep or an option to the short side of the field. Run it to the long side of the field. Why? You have more room. I know what I'm saying is like speaking Mandarin to a group of Amish people. But I'm just telling you, that's what you do. And to see that 2nd-string quarterback come in and go, that guy right there is 6'7". That Wilson kid, 6'7", can catch a ball. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to throw it up to it. And he did it. And guess what? They won the ball game. Satterfield up at Louisville inherited a mess. And I don't blame him. Between you and I don't blame Scott Frost whatsoever for what's going on at Nebraska. I fired him. I did video on that the other day. Well, I talked about it for just a second. Okay, I went on a mild breakdown about it. But my point on that was simply this. Who in the very hot place wants to go to Nebraska and coach? Because those fans still believe that they're somewhere around circa 1995. I hate to say it. Those years are gone. If you go back to that timeline, Britney Spears hadn't even come out. In present day, Britney Spears is not exactly where, I feel sorry for her. But they, for some reason, think they're pre-Britney Spears. I want y'all to think about that. No George Bush, George Bush. No 9/11. No Reggie Bush push. No, a bunch of stuff. But that's where they believe. So every coach that comes in, has got to, they're not going to be Tom Osborne. Go look at that run that Nebraska had. Okay, I get it. I can't imagine how I feel when Clemson football was finally like dead and gone. And I know a lot of you don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to think about it. Don't even believe it's a real thing. But you got to think Nebraska football was legit for around 35, 40 years. Go look in the history books. One of the greatest runs of excellence. So I can imagine what it's like. But at the same time, if you want to really fix a problem, you got to be honest with yourself. It's like when your wife walks out and she's 900 pounds overweight. She goes, how does this dress look on me? Okay, we all know the truth is you're 900 pounds overweight. How's your bone structure supporting you, yourself. I mean, I ain't a physics major, but I got a pretty good idea. We know that if you tell the truth, you're going to get slapped. She can muster up the strength. But the truth is her best friend. The truth is, I mean, we need to get you some help, some staples in your stomach or something, or else you're going to die of a heart attack any second now. That's the only way you fix a problem. And that's offensive, I know. Somebody out there right now is going, I'm reporting them to YouTube. I'm typing. I'm doing stuff. You go right ahead. You do that. But the truth is the truth is the truth. You ain't helping nobody if you don't tell them the truth. The truth to Nebraska fans is that you're 9,000 pounds overweight, and it's time to lose it. Truth is, you ain't Nebraska anymore. You're Nebraska, but you ain't the Nebraska you think you are. Then Florida State was, I thought Florida State played better than that. Louisville wanted it more. Florida State's talent just outdid it. But give it to that Rodemaker, whatever crap his name was, for going out there and looking, saying, you know what? I got a 6'7" wide receiver on a 5'11" guy. He's probably more 5'9". I'm just going to throw the ball up to him. This game can be easier than what it is. You understand that? That's like when I hear people in the Clemson community looking at the situation that we have, and they're like, you got to understand, this is, listen to me. Not every problem in the world is like some type of nuclear trigonometry that you need to do. All right. The majority of it ain't. A lot of it is you just go out there, you answer the question, and it might suck, but you go with the answer, and then you come up with a solution to that answer, right? Clemson Carter's talking about, you saw an article. I've heard about the whole Scott Frost thing, and I'm just going to tell you right now, I think it would be good if Scott Frost came here in some capacity. I like Scott Frost. I'm just being quite honest with you. I think Scott Frost is. I think he's a good coach. I think he went out there. I can imagine about his second season, after he went out there and he did some good coaching. You know, boy, he pulled out the tricks. You know, the stuff that really gets the boys going. And he saw it wasn't coming together, and he probably got into his second season, about 3 or 4 games, and he realized this is not the Lincoln, Nebraska I played at. They are still trying to replace Tom Osborne. That's what they're doing. They're trying to replace Tom Osborne. Listen to me. I don't even know if Tom Osborne is still alive. Granted, if he is still alive, Tom Osborne probably doesn't know if he's still alive. And then what was it? Was it Solich? Frank Solich? He went out there and he had their first like sub-10 win season in forever, and they fired him. And then guess what happens? It took years for them to even get back to the place to where they fired him. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of these schools, they'll come in there and they'll have a board full of people. They got PhDs and SOBs and ASSs and all this much stuff at the end of their name. And they look at me and you and they go, we know. Did you hear that, Alfred? They think they're smarter than me. And they go out and they make the dumbest moves in the world, all the while tossing more money than you and I have toes in our counties to count. Tossing around like it's a $5 bill. Like, oh, look, lucky me. I found the $5 bill here. Oh, how about we take this $3 million a year and just give it to this guy over here who has piss for brains as a coach? Well, if I'm smart, and I think it definitely has to be an educated decision. And they hired these morons, and we all know how it's going to end up. Or they hire somebody who would be good somewhere else but not fit their program. Brian Harsin is a great example of it at Auburn. And I want to tell you right now, if there is one program that has really turned my stomach, Auburn is it. the manhunt, witch hunt craziness they did at the beginning of the season, or beginning of this year, where they were like, man, we just realized that we made a terrible hire for our school. Hey, how about we accuse the guy of having sex with someone that's not his wife? Well, that's what we get accused with all the time, and it really creates a lot of trouble for us. So let's do it to him. Maybe we can get rid of him. And that's exactly what they did to him. And then figured out they couldn't, listen to me. They could not lock anything down on this man. This man is still coaching them right now after they tried to destroy him. If there's anybody, and take this out of football here. Take this out of football here. If there is anybody here who is listening to my words and it's not taking you off just a little bit, you probably either A, ain't listening to me, or B, you ain't that bright. They tried to ruin a man because they wanted to find reasons to fire him so they could go make another hire. That should tick you off. If I'm an Auburn fan, that should tick me off. If I'm Brian Harsin, I should sue the living stripes off of Auburn and change the name of the school to the Brian Harsin School of You Better Have Known Better than to accuse me of something like that and then expect me not to sue you back. And that can be the full name of the school. Can you imagine them name that? Well, this is the Iron Bowl with Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Brian Harsin School of You Should Have Never Defamed My Name and not expecting me to sue you back fighting Brian Harsin's. Can you imagine that? All because they made a hire that didn't make sense. You can't blame him for taking the job, but you can blame them for going up to Boise, Idaho and bringing them down to Auburn, Alabama. I'm going to tell you right now, if school pulled up in my front door right now, and I'd take it too. They pulled up at my front door right now and said, we're going to pay you $2.5 million to come coach at whatever school. I'm going to take it. And whether it's a good decision or a bad decision on their part, they just offered me $2.5 million a year in a contract and guaranteed money. I'm going to walk right out that door and tell them, hey, would y'all work on getting me a Bud Light sponsor? Okay? Y'all get that and the deal gets even sweeter, all right? Maybe start a Bobby Dirkens militia. I don't know. But my point is all of this. You can't blame him for taking it. You can't blame Scott Frost. I'm just saying, you go and they're going to offer you $2.5 million. Go coach. I can sit here and I can think of a ton of horrible hires. Horrible hires. And then we got this affirmative action crap where we're going to hire somebody because of X, Y, Z. Look, listen to me. I don't care if you're purple. I don't care if you're an alien. I don't care if you can't even speak my language. If you can coach football, Lord, get on over here. Get your tail over here, coach. We'll teach your team how to speak your language. All this bunch of stuff right there. I'm fine with it. I don't care. You don't get it any more equal than that. It's just the thing when I look and I say, why did you hire them again? If your reason is any other reason than they're a really good football coach, you lost me. No matter what you look like. That's true equality, by the way. If you're good at what you do, we're talking. If you ain't, I don't even want to spar about that. That's like pissing in the toilet and wondering why it turns yellow. There's no sense in it. Scott Frost, I don't know. I think it might be good for Clemson. I really like him. I like him. Now, he could be the world's biggest jerk and the next Antichrist. I don't know. But everything I've seen of him, I just think he went into a bad situation. Well, I'm going to let y'all go. Florida State won. Florida State won. And and Louisville gave them a really, really good shot. But it is what it is. I hate this camera view. Lord, I hate it. I got crap all thrown around me. B-Bean, you're right. Frost would probably go to Alabama to be an analyst. It's just, I've even put my name in there. Even though I love Clemson, all you have to do is go be an analyst for a couple of years, and you're about guaranteed at least $2, maybe $3 million a year. I want y'all to think about this. There's some people on here doesn't like for me to do this. They're like, that's beside the point. It's not, because when you get talking about it, you know, I ain't some type of mathematician, but I can do math. Just imagine you make $100,000 a year and you work for 30 years. How much money is that? $3 million. That's right. You will go and coach for 1 year and make what it would take people making solid money 30 years to coach a game. And we have these PhDs throwing money around to coaches who makes no sense why they're hiring them. So don't feel bad for them. Most of them sign out some more money than you and I will make. So don't lose any sleep. They're in great shape. Their wives, their children, their girlfriends are in great shape. Jarrett Thacker, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. $2 donation to the Bobby Dirkens Drink a Beer, Buy a Beer, Drink a Beer point. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for joining. At that, as I'm closing out, just want to let you know, I don't know if it's the link's not on this right now. I'm going to try to add it after I clear out this video. But I do have a website where you can go download one of my songs. I'm going to start putting up my song. I'm building it, y'all. It takes me time, Lord. It takes more time than what you realize. It's more likely than to sort out one of those children who their daddy is on Maury Povich or Jerry Springer. But y'all check it out. I'll put the link in here. And also, whatever you do, do not check out Not Bobby Dirkens. That guy is a preppy, hair-lipped moron. I don't like the guy. He enunciates. He is trying to use my good name to grow his channel, and I don't appreciate it. So whatever you do, do not check out Not Bobby Dirkens. B-Bean, I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow. I might be going to the game. I don't know, but I'm definitely, going to see what we can do. It's right, Rock 75. You are not the father. And that guy get up, he danced left and right because it wasn't about the baby. It was about the mama. Every time one of those guys got up and got to clapping, they're like, I told you so. It was because the mama was crazy. And if I'd have been a sweet woman and he loved her, they wouldn't even been on that stage. He just loved her to death. But that woman was nuts. Like card-carrying nuts. Like to the point that if she got hit by a bus in front of him, he would have to pinch himself to feel some type of pain in the moment. That's how crazy she was. Anyway. All right. Well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Yeah. Y'all keep showing up. I'll keep showing out. I hate this camera view, but at least you can hear me. Bobby Dirkens.